here again with another video. This time I'll show you guys how I did this poppy artwork for Remembrance Day. I hadn't used watercolours on a large scale in a while, so I sort of stuffed it up in the middle, but I did fix it with the pastels. So make sure you've got some watercolour pencils on hand. These are just the $10 ones from Aldi. I thought they were bargains, so I thought, why not? Let's try them out. I like to use a colour chart, which you may have seen in my last video. As you know, most pencils, pens, gel pens, anything really isn't usually the colour that it is on the outside. It's nice to have a reference. That being said, it's good to sometimes just pick whatever colour and go crazy, but it really depends on what project you're doing. Like, I wouldn't want to really end up with pink poppies for this one. You'll need some watercolour paper. This one's a 300 GSM. Comes with 12 sheets from Aldi again. I think it was only $3. You'll need some sort of container to put your water in, as well as your brushes. The black handled ones I got from Aldi and the red handled ones just from a $2 shop. Okay, let's begin. I'm going straight in with the watercolour pencils. Not really sure what I'm doing. I haven't really done this for a while. Could be neater, but I just basically wanted to test the pencils out for this first one. That's not counting the previous one, which was a smaller A4 size colouring an image by Tracy Lee O'Brien, but that was completely different because it was small sections that I highly layered with the watercolour pencils and then I lightly went over with water. In this poppy image I'm using the coloured strokes a lot more sparsely, so it's not as layered as I guess you could possibly do it. Probably would have gotten a better effect if I had continued doing more layers before adding the water, that is. I decided to start off with the background first, so I'm using a larger brush for this. This one wasn't really the best. It ended up sort of shedding all its fine hairs all over the image, which was a bit of a pain to remove in the end. I'm also making sure it's not going through to the other side. It is quite thick board paper, but probably shouldn't be doing this on the carpet as well. It's all about trial and error though. Like here I decided it was probably still too light and I went in with the pencil directly, dipping it in water as well. It sort of came out in chunky little pieces. Sort of attacked it, and while I'm trying to fix it, my camera died. But don't worry, I realised after a little while and I've got more footage. So here it is. The background's looking a little bit shocking, but for now I'm just ignoring it. I decided to start working on the poppies. So I'm quite liking the way this is turning out. I even go in with the pencil again, but this time it's on a smaller scale, so it's not as messy. Yeah, just adding all the finer details. And then it happened again. The last time I promise, I actually let it charge for longer this time, and I let the image dry. I even go at it with a hairdryer. I have also started adding a bit of the pastels at this point. There's 2 packs of pastels that I'm using. They're $2.80 from Daiso, and the little makeup pad thing that I'm using as well is from Daiso. It comes in a 2-pack. So it's doing a pretty good job at camouflaging the harsh lines I ended up with when I sort of stuffed it up with the watercolours. I'm using a combination of both padding on the colour using just the sponge and then drawing it on with the pastels directly and then softening out the lines. Now I'm just going back in with the pencils dry this time, just to give any extra details where it's lacking. And we're almost done. That's the poppies and the grass done. Now the fun part, a pastel sunset. I'm using the second sponge that came in the pack, and this time I'm only applying it from the sponge. This way you can get a very nice light delicate effect. I left that little bit of white in the middle where the sun is, and just blending it out into the grass as well. And that's it. Give it a go. The pastels are quite easy to use, as you can see. Watercolour's a little bit trickier. Try and see what works for you. Most of all, just have fun.